Good everyone, welcome to this video, and today, as you can tell by the title, this is going to be my personal opinion on copy-paste. Now, I've been noticing a lot of YouTubers doing this recently, such as European Canadian, and there was also, I think it was Spitfire that also did this, so I thought I'll throw my hat in the ring and give my personal opinion on it. So, what do I think about copy-paste? Well, there's a good difference between what I would class as copy paste. There's good copy paste, which I think, yeah, that's okay, that's fine, that isn't going to break the game or anything. And there's bad copy paste. Italy, I'm looking at you. So I thought for my example, I would throw up China, Italy, France, and also briefly mention Great Britain. So let's get into it and let's try to keep this short. So, bad copy pasta. MALAC. As much as I love this thing, I don't agree with it being in the Chinese tech tree. That may come as a shock to some of you, but I don't agree with it, funny enough. This vehicle should have remained as an event vehicle. They should have brought it back at some point, not put it in the Chinese tech tree as much as I love this thing. That may come as a shock to some of you, but that's just how it is. But then China redeems itself with a T-26. I don't think this tank is too special. A lot of countries tended to use this tank. I mean, as far as I know, Japan captured a couple and stuff like that. And yeah, I have no problems with the T-26. This is no issue with me. It's when you look at the rest of the Chinese tech tree. Now, there is one exception in this Chinese tech tree that I do agree with, as well as the T-26, and that's the M4A4. This tank was mainly designed to be sold off to other countries, so that is fine. That I don't mind. It's when you look at things like this, the M18 Hellcat. Now, as you can tell, I've spaded my Chinese M18. Yeah, it was fun, but fighting allied M18s, at least nowadays you don't really get that problem. But I mean, I have to give Gaijin credit. They have been listening to the player base, so there's your answer for an AA. I do need to grind and spade it, and yeah. But with that reload rate at 32.5 seconds on an unskilled crew, fuck that. And this is where we get into, shall we say, well, here's where I throw my hat in the ring in favour of what people are saying. Now, the M4 Hybrid, I don't mind. This is perfectly fine to me. A lot of composite hull Shermans were given to the Italians as far as I can tell from what I've looked up. And, well, this is fine. At least you can differentiate this from a normal Sherman due to the Italian flags on both the arse and the front. And even the Italian regiment colours on the side of the tank. That is fine. It's when we look at the other stuff. M3A3. No, we didn't need another one. M24. Same story. M4A4. That's fine. M4A4 was an export vehicle. That is fine. It's when we get up to here. I do not agree with this. The moment I saw this on the dev server, I was simply astonished at what Gaijin have done. They've added a Hellcat to the Axis. Now, Italy's already got a lot of fast vehicles, and giving them an M18 was one of the last things I expected. But hey, there's always a price to pay to be shocked, isn't there? The problem is with the M18 is that the M18 was really meant for the Allied nations, not Axis. Just because Italy got about, I think it was 180 of these vehicles, doesn't warrant it, well, Italy getting them. And not only that, as far as I can tell in the forums, most people never asked for US copy paste in Italy. This is basically making Italy become China minus the Russian vehicles, and they did capture a T-34. So I bet you there's going to be a premium of that in the coming months or so. I'm willing to lay a bet that the Italian T-34 will be coming. But this? Fuck no, I do not agree with this. Another one I don't agree with. The Sherman Firefly. Now, they have added a few differences to obviously make it look like an Italian version. But here's the problem. It's when you go to the modifications. Sabo? Really? They already have enough big guns at 5.3? And you want to give them APDS? They have the fucking Nashorn! And the Nashorn can match this in terms of penetration. But at least the Sherman has some armor to protect it to some extent. And because it's fighting a lot of allied guns, which it's at the same year as the Jumbo, it can actually bounce a couple of rounds. Gaijin, what the fuck are you thinking? Fucking hell. I really don't understand Gaijin's mentality. I really don't. But again, I'll briefly mention France here. The French M4A4. Again, this I have no problems with. The M4A4, as mentioned before, was mainly an export tank. That's fine, this thing was sold to a lot of countries. I have no problems with this. It's when you give them vehicles that are not necessary. People were asking for German vehicles in the Italian tech tree, not fucking US tanks and a British tank. Are you mental? I'm sorry, but an Italian M18 is going to break the fucking game. To some extent. An Italian Chaffee. They don't need any more fast vehicles. They have the R3, they have the Breda, and they've got the AB-43 armored car. And whilst their medium tanks aren't as quick, when you get up to the higher tiers, you have the Fiat 6614, which I've played a couple of times, quite like it. You've got the Orbital, you've got the R3, you've got the Centauro, you've got the Centauro Remote, and the MGS, which I think is actually meant to be the Centauro 2, as far as I've been told. But I'm sorry, Gaijin, you have fucked up. Big time. And yes, I am going to grind out these vehicles using the M4 Hybrid, and obviously that's how you'll get your review on it, because I'll just multitask. I'll grind, and I'll get impressions for the vehicle. But at least the M4 Hybrid I can understand. The M24, the M4A4, the M3... Well, sorry, not the M4A4. That one's exempt. I don't mind that. The M3A3, the M18, and the Sherman, you can fuck right off with that. And I know some people are probably going to be like, "Well, this is just more of a rant," and you're probably right because I don't agree with this. Italy did not need copy paste US vehicles. They needed German vehicles. They were given Panzers. They were given Stugs. They were given Tigers, and they were Italian tank Tiger aces. Just give them Stugs, give them Panzers, and give them Tigers. Bish bash bosh. That's how you fix it. You don't give them US vehicles. This one and the M4A4 is perfectly fine. At least in my opinion, because, well, everyone used Shermans pretty much. But Gaijin, I really disagree with having an M18 and a Sherman Firefly with Sabo. That is just bang out of order, in my personal opinion. And to finish off, I'm just going to briefly mention Great Britain. This is good copy-paste, because we did use Stuarts. This is fine. It's a Stuart. A lot of countries use a Stuart, and the British called it the Honey. There you go. Well, I mean, it's a nice tank, but I wouldn't exactly call it Honey. That's for definite. But then you've got the Stuart 3, which is the M3A1 Stuart. This is fine. We Brits use a lot of these. But this would be like giving the Brits like a Panzer IV. Or, no, even better yet, Tiger 131 in the tech tree. Like, really? I don't fucking know. But yeah, this M18 is a big fat no-no. The Sherman's a big fat no, or the Firefly's a big fat no-no, and the Chaff is a big fat no-no. So is the Stuart. I mean, the Stuart, yeah, maybe, but you've got the armored car. And if anything, I'd use the armored car more because the armored car at least has better mobility. It arguably has a better gun for the job, and it has a reverse rate which will blow the M3A3 out the water. But yeah, that pretty much sums my opinion up on copy paste. I am not a fan of it. Germany's captured vehicles I am fine with for the most part, except that KV-1B thing. That thing is just ridiculous. I don't mind there being a substitute for a tech tree. If Italy needs these vehicles, give them German. Give them German. They use a lot of German stuff. But give them US? No, don't agree with that. But anyway, I get the feeling I'm repeating myself at this point. I'm going to let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed my little impressions and throwing my hat in the ring about copy paste and stuff. And well, I will see you all on the next one.